welcome back. I'm doing another video on Le Pew. So last time that we spoke about was about his FHO surgery. However, he is doing great. He's in the back just laying down right there. Yeah, see his back. Yep, and his tail. But yeah, today it's going to be a new different topic. This topic is about another medical condition that he developed about a year ago. So I'm still dealing with it. Thankfully he's gotten way better from what he was before. But today I just want to tell you what's going on with him, and I just want you guys to be aware of these symptoms that just shows up on kittens and cats. So a year ago, it has been a year, he developed a habit of scratching his upper lip right here. So he started to develop an irritation of upper lip. At first it didn't show, I would say. In the beginning, literally probably like it was around December, January maybe of 2020. He did have like a scab underneath his nose, but obviously my husband and I assumed that it was just a little scratch that he does, like play fight scratch that his brother maybe did. We didn't think much of it. So then probably after a month later, it's same place, it was a scratch scab, and I was like, this is very odd, like the same position, same thing. And we were like, it's their play fighting. So what we tended to do is whenever they play fight and whatnot, we break it up, to avoid any scratches. Probably after that, maybe February, March, around there, he started to just have an itch. Like he'll continue just like, going like this with his nose, like dun dun dun, like that. It was mostly here, like it was like around the nose, but it started small, I would say like around here. So he would just go like that with his paw, but it wasn't just like a soft, it was aggressive. We didn't do much of it. We were like, it's just probably something, it might be the food. So we did change it. We did change his food and did more of a homemade diet for him as well with Max. So we let that probably like 3 months, we let him be. So he developed a scratch in the beginning of March, I would say. This happened before quarantine, like that, literally. So it was in the beginning of the March week, so maybe like March 1st, March 3rd, whatever it was, that he started to have constantly like itching it so badly. So I booked an appointment at Homemade Society, and I had to wait 1 month. So I remember the appointment being in April, and I was like, all right, thanks, blah blah. Then quarantine happened, everything shut down. When I called, they told me my appointment moved up to like 3-4 months, I think, and they said that's if anything happens in the quarantine. So all it was just a wait and see type of thing. So I was just like, I cannot, like he was, he started to scratch his nose like a lot, and when you scratch a place constantly and aggressively, you start to develop a rash, like a big mark of rash. So that's what he started. It started small, and so within the weeks of quarantine, I literally tried my best to find a vet that could get him in and to just look at him and see what's going on. So yeah, it took me a pretty long time to book an appointment for him, honestly. So throughout the time when I was looking for a vet to help me out, or to be open at least, I understand that it was COVID and it was quarantine, I understand. But yeah, so it did take about a month. So in May, I probably found a vet that did open, that will open, and they gave me an appointment. The appointment was until July. It was till July, and honestly I was like, I'll take it, because there was nothing much I could do. So alright, so we have May, June, and then and July. So there was 2 months, right? Within those 2 months, he just started to scratch his nose so much. He started to bite his fur out, like literally bite. It was literally like it was huge, and he had a huge rash in his arm as well. And I don't remember how, but it was long. It was really bad. It started small, then it went big. Yeah, so it just got worse. It was irritation he had, like, you know, I tried to do like oatmeal on it. I put some like water with oatmeal to relax it, to smooth it out. Within that time frame, I tried to find something that could like stop his itchiness, you know, help him out a little bit, until July, till his appointment comes. So I did use it for his nose, like this product. I did use it for his nose. I did do a little bit. It kind of helped him a bit, not so much, I would say, because it was mostly like, you know, he ingested it. Another one that I did was this nose plum for him. It was just hard to kind of apply it to his nose right here. I did put this a little bit on the arm, but because he bites it mostly a lot, you know, I didn't really put things on his arm because I didn't want him to ingest it, even though this is actually really good, and it's fine if he ingests it. But so yeah, so I did put it in his nose. I put this in his nose. It was hard to apply it because he doesn't let you touch his face, his pretty face. So, you know, I tried to apply a little here when he was more relaxed, not energetic. So yeah, so that really didn't do much, honestly. It really didn't do much. So at this point, it was just like, we have to wait till July. But also, like, him, like, he looked bad in the outside with all the rashes. Although he did have energy, he did eat normally, he did do everything normally, honestly, like, so he continued his daily routine as usual. That didn't bother him, anything from that. Alright, so the day of his appointment came, right? About time, we go in, he gets checked out. They told me that it was an ulcer, and they explained to me, you know, what an ulcer is, and what we could do regarding on his treatment. So the doctor did say, you know, he has an infection in an ulcer, and what I had to do was, you know, they gave me Carvina, I think it was called Carvina, medication for him, is an antibiotics, for his infection to go away, and as well, they did give him the steroids. I know it was steroids. The name, I believe, was, I can't pronounce it, but it was like PRED something. I don't remember. I remember it said PRED. So that was the type of steroids that they did give him. But before giving him the steroids, they had to check if he had diabetes. Thank God he didn't. But yeah, so he did say, like, we have him on steroids. We'll put him on steroids so it could at least reduce. And it was like approximately like 6 weeks of an effective thing, or 12. I'm not very sure how long I had to wait, or a month. I don't remember. But either ways, I had to continue giving his medication for his infection, and as well, I had to you know, keep an eye on him, giving him records, keeping track of his scratch and everything. However, he did say, like, he started to scare me, obviously. If it's an ulcer, you know, it does come back, but we will have to have a different treatment because, you know, continuing steroids on a cat is not good at all. So we had to. So of course, I will show you the progress that you know, the first treatment that we applied to him within the weeks. Yeah, so there was 3 weeks. So I'll show you week 1, week 2, and week 3. the end of August, he started to have the same symptoms, but now it grew to his feet. His paws. So on his paws, he developed a scratch, an irritation, a rash. I did look at it. I didn't take a picture of it, so I can't show you it, but it did seem like it was dry, and red, very red. So I think for a week I had him kind of put on a cone so he doesn't scratch his arm, at least, or put his arm on his nose. But yeah, that didn't work at all either. Like, I felt so bad for him because that was just torture, like, I was like, what am I doing? So so I was like, what, I'm taking out the cone. But anyways, that day when I decided to take out the cone, his eye got swollen and I freaked out. Obviously, I went back to the vet and they were like, oh, it's I don't even know how to pronounce it, eosinophilic ulcers. Here's the name of it, and I'm gonna show you pictures of like the images of other cats having this. Okay, so in the pictures you see that it's inside their mouth, but when it's inside the mouth it's more advanced. But Le Pew had it outside and it was up in his upper lip, so it wasn't advanced, thankfully, because it would be harder to treat. At the medication, he did give him another injection. It was, I don't even know the name of it, it was too long, but I know it was stronger than the steroids itself. So that medication was stronger than the first one, and we did give him another antibiotics for his infection and to reduce it. Yeah, afterwards they told me if he needs another reboost for his infection, just come in. So if it doesn't heal, I said all right. So it did heal a little bit, but like the symptoms just came back. Like literally, it just came back a shorter time this time. So, I told myself, let me go back. It might be an infection that he still has. So at that moment when I went back, I told them, I'm like, it might be the infection that hasn't gone away and it continues coming back. And he told me, we could give him a second dose of that strong injection, that strong drug. And I was like, no, you have already done it, and it's probably like been a month or so. And I was like, you've done it already. Like, I don't want him to continue having this drugs in his body. Like, he's still small. Like, no. I was like, no. And so I got really upset. And obviously, I just took him and I took him home. Things happen for a reason. And in that week, my mom's cat ran away in New Jersey, and week that we couldn't find him. And honestly, like, I found him on Facebook. Thankfully, we did find him. However, it was in New Jersey. Long story short, my parents live in New Jersey. But yeah, so we did find him, thankfully for that. And when we went to the person that held him, I did speak to her. We started to speak about the problem that I was having with my cat, and I was making conversations about it, and she did tell me about this dermatologist for animals in New Jersey. And that same day, when I came back home, I looked it up. So on Monday, I did call, and because of COVID, everything was full, and I was just like, oh my god. And she wasn't accepting a lot of in person during that time, so it was a bit more difficult. I remember calling the receptionist, and she said that like the poly in person it will take about like 7 months, 8 months, 9 months, who knows really. But there is some of like, because the appointments were booked and everything, there was not really much, just a video call. So yeah, so I spoke to the receptionist, and I wanted to book an appointment, obviously, as soon as possible. And unfortunately, because of COVID, soon was impossible. So because their appointments were booked until probably like 5 or 6 months later, it was a bit difficult for me to book it. But she did. I said, what, just book for me 5 months after here. And she said that, they do mostly video calls instead of in person, but they had like a limited numbers of patients in person. So I remember on Friday I was at work and I got the call. I answered immediately, and the receptionist told me that someone dropped their appointment on for Monday at this time. It was 12. I remember. So and it's in person. I said yes, book me in, please, please, please. Yeah, so I called out. Yeah, so it was on Sunday night. The veterinarian called me, to gather information about Lepiu's health, Lepiu's health past and present, and briefly describing what's going on with Lepiu at the moment and any changes, she was asking so many questions, to gather all the information she can with Lepiu. And it literally took 3 hours, and I love the way that she was patient which showed that she cared. So the day of appointment came. So I took Lepiu to New Jersey. So from New York to New Jersey, went to the place, and she took Lepiu and did the test on him, and I was like, about time, because that's what he needed, some test, So took test for him. It was the allergy test. So yeah, they took out a fur from him in the area that was infected, and examined that fur of him, and they also did a diabetes test. Yes, so he did have high diabetes, because Lepiu traveled from New York City to New Jersey, so his high blood sugar did probably rise. So she told me to do it at home. She gave me this thing to buy on Amazon to check their diabetes with the urine in a stick. So anyways, yes. So as well, that she said that it does look like an ulcer, she said. So like, she did say that the veterinarian from the other clinic did do what they're supposed to do, but the medication that he does have is a bit strong for him. It's more of like a serious case, like so she wanted to start off slowly. It did take him for his infection to go away 4 to 5 weeks, I remember. So he did have also a test with the fungal, and it did come that he did have some fungal in it, so we did have to kill the infection first. She did say specifically we have to first focus on killing that infection, because she told me that his infection is just overboard, like it filled up the bucket. She did give us Corvina again for 2 weeks, but if the infection didn't die within the 2 weeks, we'll have to reboost it again in my local veterinarian. But so I did, because it didn't pass within the 2 weeks. The other exam, the allergies exam, it was environmental. She told me that the food allergy is not very accurate. I prefer not to do it because it's not accurate. But she did say the environmental, to see it might be environmental. So we did take it, but the results does come back in a month. So I had to wait for that. So the treatment that was recommended was to also told me to buy a shampoo that will help him with his skin, because he does seem he has sensitive skin with certain things. She also told me to buy sensitive skin food, like skin sensitivity food, for him. So she did give me a list. So basically, these are the 2 ones that I buy for him now, to give a trial of it, to see how he feels with it. As well, she told me to kill off any ticks or fleas that he has with this product. This is the one that she gave me. She did give me this one. I did put it around like on the neck part, so is not able to lick. That one was probably like, I think I had to do it like every 12 weeks. I had to do it. His allergy test did come within a month, so he came with positives in some of the areas. I know he had weeds, 1 or 2 trees, I think it was, dust mites and mold, and it was more detailed. I just don't remember as much. But here, so yeah, here's his results. We did have to give him a vaccine. However, it's not just a vaccine that they just have it for you or for your pet. She did tell me that it is custom made for your pet for specific allergies that he or she has. So yeah, so she said that will probably take about a month. So when we did send the results, and they customized it for Le Pew, it was a bit pricey when I got it. While I was waiting for it, there is a sublingual, meaning orally, or injections. So it's like a trial at first where I had to do the trial for him to see where we're comfortable at, where I'm comfortable at, and where he's comfortable at. But I already know him. He's more comfortable sublingual than injections, and I'm his past. He has drank a lot of medication, so yeah. But I still did the trial for the injections to see maybe it's easier for him, and no. For us, no. It was a bit scary because you're going it was an injection, come on, like so basically it was like the needle, and you have to go under the skin, not touch the muscles, be careful not to touch the muscles, and it was in their back. Yeah, it was in their back. So they did demonstrate it to me with a teddy bear, and I had to practice it, within that week. I had to practice it, with the pew. But the first day was just scary. I just didn't like it. We practiced it with just water itself, literally. Like the needle had water inside, and you'll just pick up you had to pick up his back skin and then pinch it like between the skin, like under the skin itself, but don't pinch the muscle itself. Like, it was just too scary, and I said no. I tried the first time, but because he moves a lot, and you can't have a cat stay. So he is very energetic, so I said no, that's not the best option for me. I did it one time, second time I tried it again. It wasn't right for me. Obviously you have to tell them, which one you prefer, because that's how they will make it. The form of the medication, the sublingual or injection. So yeah, so when my medication came within the month, it was a bit pricey. The doctor did give us instructions in how to introduce the medication to him. So the bottle basically came with like this. It came with 2 bottles, and it came with a calendar to keep a note and everything. So basically this tip under here has to go under their tongue. So yeah, so the tip here goes under their tongue, and you just like do two pumps twice a day. But that's just for Le Pew. This is honestly better for us. He has gotten better, and thank God for her and for their help and support, that he got better. He doesn't have his rash anymore. And also, what cat isn't a treat lover, so I did find these treats. This is the picture of the treats, and yes, so that's the treats that he's been on. But in the meantime, I'll show you as well his pictures, what he had before and after. So this is the 2 weeks with the Covina injection and with the different food he has, and also bathing him with the shampoo, just his paws, of course. So after a month, we got the vaccine. So this is when he is on his vaccine, but also dieting with his food that is prescribed, and the shampoo that we bathe him on his paw. So as well, if you have questions regarding his surgery from before, you could ask me through my social medias. So yeah, thank you all for watching. It was great coming back with another video on Le Pew. And if you liked the video, press like, and then also don't forget to subscribe. So yes, I woke him up. So you saw his nose red was right there. He got better. He's scared of the noise. So guys, thank you all for watching.